Hi, welcome to this first video of 2017, and I'm Mr. Liao, and today I'm going to touch on this topic of reported speech. Alright, without further ado, let me dive straight into today's lesson. Alright, when we talk about reported speech, the first thing we need to take a step back and we talk about direct speech. So you got to ask yourself, what is direct speech? Alright, for direct speech, it simply means this thing that this person has said. In this example, John said, I am sleepy. So you can see that in the speech bubble, this is the exact words that John said. And this is what we mean by direct speech. A second example, Mother replied, I have made cookies. So in this case, Mother said this exact words, I have made cookies. And direct speech is not just for one person. Sometimes there may be more than one persons. So in this case, the boys said, we are going out. So the boys said it personally, that in the speech bubbles, it says, we are going out. So in reported speech, think of it like the reporter is telling you something, that something has happened. And it always is reported in the past because it tells us about what this person did in the past. It has already taken place. Therefore, the reporter is able to tell you about this because it happened in the past. So there will be changes in the tenses. For example, something that is said in the present tense, it will be changed to past tense. Past tense will change it to past perfect tense. And for present continuous tense, we will change it to past continuous tense. There are a few more changes in the tenses, but let's just focus on these three for this lesson. So, going back to the three examples that I talked about just now, the first example, I am sleepy. So the reporter will hear what John has to say, and this reporter will report this as John said that he was sleepy. John said that he was sleepy. And you realize in red, the first thing you notice is that I no longer have the speech marks, the open inverted commas, the double quote, as some of you would know it as. We take that away, we take away the comma as well, and we put in right there, right after the word said, we put in the word that, and that's highlighted in red. And the next thing you realize that there are changes is the word I am. It will change to he was. Later I'll explain this further. The second example, Mother replied, I have made cookies. So in reported speech, we take away the speech marks, the open inverted commas. We add in the word that. Mother replied that she had made cookies. So in this case, I have, we will change it to she had. Do you notice the change in the tenses? Alright, let's come to one more before we practice we use some simple examples for our practice. Alright, so third example, the boy said, we are going out. Reported speech. The reporter will say, the boys said that they were going out. Okay, so the change from we are to they were. Again, just taking a step back, we included the word that, and of course we removed the open inverted commas, the speech marks. Now let's do a simple practice. Change of present tense to past tense. First example, Mr. Liao told Tim, you are late. So now, in reported speech, Mr. Liao told Tim that he singular, but we cannot mention the present tense, so we need to change it to past tense. Let's see whether you have gotten this correct. If you need a bit more time, just pause the video so that you won't get to hear the answer first. And once you have ready your answer, then you continue to play the video. Alright? Mr. Liao told Tim that he was late. Alright, hopefully you have gotten the first one correct. Let's move on to the second. Tim whispered, I am sorry. The answer or the reported speech, Tim whispered that the word am, you change it to past tense. He was sorry. So far so good? Third example, Finn said, we are going to win. So now Finn is referring to herself as well as her group of friends, all right, her teammates. So Finn said that they, present continuous, are going. You change it to were going to win. How is it so far? Is it clear enough? If you're not too sure, maybe you can go back again and you can just rewind the video a little bit and try this out again. Alright? Okay, now let's move on to changing to past perfect tense. Mr. Liao told Tim, I ate lunch already. So the reported speech will be, Mr. Liao told Tim that he, remember past tense you will change to past perfect. So ate, it becomes had eaten. Do you get it so far? Alright, the second one. Tim whispered, I drank your Milo. In reported speech, Tim whispered that he had drunk my Milo. Third example, Finn said, we switched off the lights. So now a reporter will be telling you what Finn said. Finn said that they had switched off the lights. Do you manage to get this correct? If you're not too sure about past perfect tense, maybe you can look through some of the YouTube videos on past perfect tense. Alright, or some of you with an MC Online account, you can go into the English section and you can look for it under the grammar section. Now, hopefully you've gotten the tenses right. And now the other thing that needs to be changed, or that you will experience some changes, will be the change in pronouns. Just now you realize when we talk about I am sorry. But if you're referring to this person who's experienced this, you refer to him as he or she. For you, sometimes it may be referring to another person. It may be he or she, or you could refer to them as well. Alright, so you just keep in mind that there may be some of these changes in direct speech to reported speech in terms of the change of pronouns. Alright, so in case you need to refer back, just backtrack to this page, this part of the video to see whether you need some reference. Alright, give you an example. The boy said, we are going out. It will be strange for the reporter to say, we are going out, because the reporter is not going out. Alright, so the reporter will say, the boys said that they were going out. You notice that instead of we, you change it to, think of it like it's the opposite end. Alright, but it's referring to the boys. So instead of referring to we, the reporter refers them as they. Now, some examples for you to try out. Mr. Liao told Tim, you are the winner. So in reported speech, Mr. Liao told Tim that, you realize I highlighted in red, Tim is a boy, so you should change it to he. Mr. Liao told Tim that he was the winner. Second example, Tim told me, you are wrong. So Tim told me that you, he's talking to me, so it should be I was wrong. Third example, Finn said, we are going to win. Finn said that, instead of we, the opposite end will be said that they were going to win. Alright, that's the bell. Let's hold on for a while. They were going to win. Alright. Okay, hopefully you've gotten the previous part regarding the change of pronouns. And let's move on to the third section where there's a change of modals. Modals are words like can, will, should, must, may, or shall. And then in reported form, you will need to change like can to the word could, will to would. Should, it remains as should, because in the reported sense, it is still the word should. Okay, so these are some of the rules that you might need to remember it by heart. Okay, must, in reported speech is has, had to. May, it could be might or could, depend on whether you're asking about possibility or permission. Alright, shall, it could be a suggestion, or should, or shall, it can refer to in the future tense whether would this happen in the future. Alright, some example for you to practice. Mr. Liao told Tim, I can teach you. In reported speech, Mr. Liao told Tim that he can, you change to could, and teach, him because it's referring to Tim. Alright, I read again. Mr. Liao told Tim that he could teach him. Alright, second example. Tim told me, you will enjoy swimming. Tim told me that I will, you change to would. Tim told me that I would enjoy swimming. Finn said, we must win. Just now, the example, the table that we have, must, it will change to had to. Tim said that they had to win. Alright. Okay, the last part that I'm going to cover is a reported speech on orders. Okay, sometimes instead of just things that people said, they may give instructions, orders. So instead of the word said, we use saying verbs such as told, commanded, ordered, demanded, or instructed. For example, the teacher would say, stop running. I wouldn't report it as the teacher said that stop running. It sounds weird. Alright? So instead of adding the word that, you'll say, the teacher told the students to stop running. Alright, you may be a little bit confused right now, but in this case, if it's addressed to students, then that's when we put in the objects. The teacher told the students to, and then we add in what has been reported there, to stop running. Okay, a second example. Don't run, said the teacher. In reported speech, we'll mention the teacher told the students, instead of the word don't, we need to change it to not to run. Okay, this is a special case that you need to remember for the word don't. It's a special case, we need to change it to the word not to. Another example, don't give up, said the teacher. The teacher told the students, again, the word don't, you change it to not to. Told the students not to give up. Now, third example, you must meet me after school, said the teacher. The teacher told the students to meet me after school, or meet her after school, sorry. Alright? So now you do your own practice. 4 examples. Stop running, said Madam Tan. Madam Tan told me to stop running. Tim shouted, don't come near me. Tim instructed me, don't, you need to change it to not to. Come near who? It's referring to Tim, so it should be come near him. Third example, you must complete your homework, Mom said. Mom reminded me to complete my homework. So in this case, this is an instruction. So we just put in the word to and then followed by the verb. And the verb is complete. Complete my homework. Alright? Fourth example, the instructor said, run to the fence. The instructor commanded us to run to the fence. This should be quite an easy example for you. Alright? Final practice. Okay, we have covered quite a lot of contents. I know that it can be a little bit intimidating, but what you can do is that just take this, if you are not too sure about certain parts, go back again and then read through it. And if you need some examples or some more practice, for those of you in my classes, you can refer to the companion booklets. There are some more practices there, and hopefully these videos will help you to better tackle some of these questions or these conversions from direct speech to reported speech. Alright, one final practice. Instead of giving you fill in the blanks, you fill in a much more entire sentence or just the phrase itself. I'm late, said Madam Tan. Maybe what you can do is that you can pause the video, try it out first on a piece of paper, and later I'll go through the answers. Alright? And the answer for the first one. Madam Tan said that she was late. Second sentence, Tim shouted, don't play with the fire. Tim instructed me, don't. The word don't, you need to change it to not to play with the fire. You must clean your room, Mom said. Mom reminded me to clean my room. Alright? And the fourth example, the instructor said, you forgot your drills. the instructor said that I had forgotten my drills. Past tense to past perfect. Alright, I missed a full stop there in my question stamp. Alright, I apologize for that. Okay, hopefully this has been helpful to you in one way or another. A reported speech can be quite reported speech itself can be quite a handful when it comes to, there are many different rules to remember, but generally just remember that it has to refer to the subject, to the person, or to the object itself that is being reported. Alright, and the next thing is that usually it's in past tense. So these are the few rules. You need to change of the pronoun, you need to change of the tenses, and sometimes it can be the time which the time frame, okay, or some of the words, but we won't cover that in this lesson. Alright, hopefully this has been helpful to you, and I hope that this will get you started. Don't be fearful even about reported speech. If you're not too sure how to properly change some of the sentences from direct to reported speech, we will take a look at it. Again, you can, for my students, you can come and approach me with some of the questions you may have, and I'll try my best to answer you along the way. Alright, that's all for today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day ahead. Alright, that's all. Bye.